there, this is Tiff and welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. What we do here is we solve your problems so that you're out there working on achieving your big dreams and big goals. So when you listen to these episodes, if you can do me a favor, take a screenshot of the episode that you're actually listening to, share it on social media and share it with your friends with hashtag #PotentialWithTiff so that I can give you a shout out and really thank you for listening because I'd really appreciate it. Hey there, this is Tiff from Tiffany Micah podcast and welcome to today's episode. So here we have, and I really wanted to share this one with you today, is this comment: I'm always working hard, or I'm always working so hard, but I'm always losing. And I used to find that would come up for me when I played, especially tennis more than anything, especially as I got older, as an older junior, and didn't really understand how my mind worked so well. But I was working really, really hard, and I felt like this was a really important area to look at because this comes up. I've seen it a lot come up with juniors that I've spoken to. They talk about and young athletes, teenage athletes, in their 20s and so on. Even I find it with ladies that I work with, even in golf. Over 60, they find they're working so hard, but they're still not performing the way that they want to. So these are the questions I want you to be thinking about that I'm going to ask you here is, do you find that you are one of the hardest workers in your squad or in your team? Are you the one who will get up earlier than everyone else and you'll train harder? And are you willing to stay back longer and do the extra training? And you're very attentive. You listen to your coach or your coaches and you do everything that you need to do, right? You work so hard and you get up earlier, you train before everyone else gets there, you do the same when they leave, you stay there longer, but yet for some reason, no matter how hard you're working, like the time, the effort, the dedication, the discipline that you're putting in, you can't see anything changing, like nothing ever changes for you. And you still lose and you still don't get picked for the team that you want to get picked for, and you still don't qualify for those events. You still don't qualify for those tournaments and so on. So you see, and you also see others, you see others get through and you see others win and you see others get picked for the squads, but you're always questioning, like, why isn't it me? Why can't I get picked for these? I'm working hard. I'm putting everything that I can into this, and yet I don't get through. Why do they get through and I don't get through, and I'm just as good as them? If not, I know I'm better. Well, there are a number of reasons of why this is happening, and let's see and have a look what these reasons are, okay? So here's one of the reasons. Number one, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So the thing is it's really good to have that repetition, and that's how we can learn and refine our skills, because we need to do that. Tony Robbins always says about, his quote is, repetition is the mother of all skill. And of course it is, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. You have to do the repetition. But the thing is when you're competing and the skills that you've been working on have not been working for you and you've been working really hard, well, those aren't the skills that are actually going to get you over the line. The skills that are actually going to get you over the line is the competition skills, and you need to learn on how to do that, okay? How to compete, right? Because that'll be an area that will be missing. Number two, not evaluating your game. So when you've finished your matches, do you spend the time evaluating your game? Like, do you look at what worked for you, what didn't work? Because if you're not evaluating what's actually going on, then you don't know what needs to have the work done on it, do you? You've got no idea, right? You're just hoping that you can just keep working and working and working and things will change. Well, we need to actually evaluate what's actually going on in your games, in your matches, in your tournaments, in your competitions, okay? Number 3, encountering obstacles and then getting stuck. Right, so everything in sport has obstacles. Really, everything that we do in life, we have obstacles. And you are constantly challenged. And you are mentally and emotionally, the question really is here is, are you mentally and emotionally equipped to work through these obstacles? Or does the frustration take over? Because the thing is here is if we're encountering obstacles and we're getting stuck, that means that we're not equipped yet to overcome the obstacles. And we just get frustrated. And I get that big time. Like even the first 3 things here, the first 3 reasons that I've shared with you, I was like that when I was an aspiring tennis player. Kept working on the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Never evaluated my games because I didn't know how to. And I always encountered obstacles and I always felt like I got stuck. And I wasn't emotionally and mentally equipped to deal with these obstacles. Number 4, lack of awareness. And what I mean here is just not being aware of when things go wrong. So not even aware of when things go right. It's all understanding how it works. And it's really interesting because I come across a lot of people who have no idea when they've done it wrong, have no idea when they've done it right, and they don't really understand the process. So they really have no awareness. And you should never leave anything to chance. We have to make sure that we are aware, okay? Number 5, fearing losing. So this can be an absolute killer. So if you worry about losing and it's all so consuming, well, then that's all you're going to focus on. You're only going to focus on losing, and that's not the intention, is it? That's not the intention we want to have, and that's not the result that we want to have, but that will keep happening, is that we will lose because we fear losing. So we need to make sure that we're not focusing on that, we're focusing on a game plan in how we can actually win. Number 6, no belief in yourself. So you want it. And I know you do because that's why you work so hard. But if there's fears coming up inside of you and you don't believe that you can do it, and there's plenty of poor self-talk going on, again, this is going to be that will hold you back. Okay, if you don't have any belief in you, you're not going to get anywhere. And this is another reason why you can work as hard as you like, but you won't get the results that you want. Number 7, frightened of evaluation. The hardest thing, this is really tough. The hardest thing is to look back at our failures. And it's really tough, and emotionally, it is so painful. But if we don't do that, if we don't learn what's going on, then we're not going to be able to solve the problems, are we? So you could be frightened of evaluating what's going on because it's painful. But I always say we have to work through the pain to get to the pleasure. Number 8, no game plan. So you've got no plans, you just keep hoping it will all come together by chance because you work hard. And the thing is I want to get across to you here today is there's a thing about working hard, and there's also a thing about strategically working hard. So if you keep working, and you have no plan, you most likely won't get the result because you don't really know where you're headed. You've got in your head, if I keep working, I can do this. But we need to have a plan in place, right? We need to have a game plan in place. Number 9, frightened of learning from mistakes. So you could be frightened of losing, and that will always hold you back, right? That was what used to hold me back because I was so frightened of losing, and that was always the thing that always held me back. So I was frightened from learning on what was actually happening, and it's really being frightened of making mistakes. We have this fear of making mistakes, and you know what? Mistakes are all about learning. It's all about learning how to improve. It's all about learning how to grow. So we need to make sure that we are doing something about it, okay? So I've given you 9 reasons here of why you could be losing, even though you work so hard. So what were those reasons again? You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Number 2, you're not evaluating your games. Number 3, you're encountering obstacles and getting stuck. Number 4, you have a lack of awareness. Number 5, you fear losing. Number 6, you have no belief in yourself. Number 7, you're frightened of evaluation. Number 8, you have no game plan. Number 9, you're frightened of learning from your mistakes. So there's those 9 reasons of why you could be losing, even though you work really hard. And it's all really good, and you're going, yep, Tiff, great, thanks for sharing that. Now I know why I'm losing, right? Even though I'm working really hard, but what now? How can I overcome this? Okay, so here are some things that you can do to overcome this. Number 1, self-evaluate. So you've got to look at yourself with a critical eye and be upfront and honest with yourself. So you want to be looking at what is working, and if you are losing all the time, working hard, we need to identify what is really not working. So here are some questions to ask when you self-evaluate. Do I have a game plan for my matches? Do I have solid skills in my sport? Do I practice under pressure with drills? Do I meditate and visualize? Do I anticipate obstacles? So there's some questions to ask. And if you're already listening and you're going, you know what, no, I don't have a game plan, and no, my skills aren't solid, and no, I never practice under pressure, and no, I don't really meditate and visualize, and I've never anticipated any obstacles. If you've got a lot of no's here, then this is what we need to be working on. So we need to be working on creating plans for the game, don't we? We need a game plan for our match or our tournament, our competition. We need to have a plan for a solid technique in every skill that we've got in our sport. We need to have a plan of how we perform under pressure. What are our practice drills for performing under pressure? We need a plan of how to meditate and what we're going to visualize. We need to have a plan on how to anticipate what the obstacles are and then what the plan is to overcome them. Right? So we need to self-evaluate and actually identify what's going on here. And then number 2, what weaknesses come up when I lose? So we need to identify what the weaknesses are. So here's some examples, identifying all the weaknesses that come up in your game. So like your strokes or your skills. So what kind of skills are coming up that are quite weak? Your mental thoughts, so what you're actually thinking about. The self-talk, in how you're actually talking to yourself. The posture, so the way in which you stand, right? I see a lot of athletes who, the champions are tall and poised, and they look like they're just going to kill it today, right? They're in control. The ones with poor posture, they drag themselves around very round-shouldered. So we want to make sure that we want to identify if that's a weakness. Another weakness, are you not fit enough? Are you not strong enough? Right? Or you're not able to, if you're playing tennis, I know I bring up tennis a lot, but that's an area I know quite well, is that you're not able to string points together. So if you're finding that you've got weaknesses in all these areas that I've just mentioned, well, then we need a plan to improve our skills. We need a plan to improve our mental thoughts. We need a plan to improve our self-talk. We need a plan to improve our posture. We need a plan to work on becoming so much fitter and stronger. We need to create some game plans or structure of routines or plays or something like the playbook of some description, in order so that we can string more points together. We can rally for longer on the court. We can hit straighter balls when we play golf more often. It's keeping our heads together. So there's plenty for you to do here to get to work on. And so what it is really is that we're identifying what's not working, and then we're crafting plans to overcome them, okay? So the 2 most important things is 1, self-evaluate, and 2, come up with the weaknesses of when you're losing, and then create plans around that. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'd love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard today. And if you just have 30 seconds to spare, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review wherever you hear these episodes. If you haven't yet downloaded the number 1 deadly mistake athletes make, I don't want this to be you, so make sure that you download that so that you are not making that mistake. And right now, I want you to get to work on what I've shared with you today. And I want you to dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Have an awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions about the frustrations that you're actually going through right now, come over and visit my site, tiffany-mika.com, and you will see on the home page I've set up Ask Tiff. Now, what Ask Tiff is this is where you can ask me a question, and I will record an episode for you on how to solve that frustration or those frustrations you're actually going through, so that we can get the problem solved for you, so that you're actually out there achieving your big dreams and goals. So if you want me to mention your name in the episode, happy to do so. If you don't, I can keep it anonymous. It's fine by me. But make sure you go over and go to the Ask Tiff on the homepage of my website. If you've just got 30 seconds to spare, I'd also appreciate if you could leave a 5-star review wherever you hear these episodes. And remember, take a screenshot, add the hashtag #PotentialWithTiff so that I can give you a shout out for sharing these episodes on social media. I'd really appreciate it. And remember this, always, always, always dream big, believe in you, and go after your dreams.